Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to look at coordination. Coordination, as we all know, it is the essence of every management or any organization. There must be coordination and cooperation. These two are inseparable. So today we are going to discuss upon the coordination aspect. What do you mean by the term coordination? Let's just try to understand its meaning. Coordination is basically a process by which the activities of different departments are synchronized, which means each department's activities are mapped or they are aligned in order to ensure unity of action. So coordination is nothing but you have to bring unity. It is integrating. We need to integrate the members because there might be various departments existing in any organization and there will be different types of employees in different organization, and making them all to come under one goal, one team, or as one plan is what coordination. Though each department might have departmental objectives, but all those departmental objectives are aligned towards the organization objectives, which means they are well connected, they are well coordinated. So in order to bring out the unity among the various members in an organization or in a department of an organization, we need this coordination. That's why it is considered as a process by which the activities of the departments, so each and every activities of the departments are synchronized, mapped. Let us try to understand this with some example. The example is, in a manufacturing company, pen manufacturing company, the sales department has received an order to produce 10,000 units of pen. It cannot execute the order unless the production department produces 10,000 units. Now can you able to understand? That is, the company, there is a company which is producing pen. Let's say for example, it's a Reynolds company which is currently known as Rorito. So Rorito company is about to produce some 10,000 units of pen. For this, the sales department needs to coordinate with the production department. Only then the 10,000 units of pens will get manufactured. But it is not possible for the production department to produce 10,000 units just like that unless and until the purchase department provides them with the necessary raw materials. So now the third department comes into the picture. First, initially we had two departments, namely the sales department and the production department. But now, in order to execute the work given by the sales department, the production department needs the assistance of purchase department. Only then they can able to produce the pens, that is 10,000 pens, because raw material is very essential. Thus, if production and sales plan are not properly coordinated, I repeat it, if the production and sales plans are not properly coordinated, the objectives of the enterprise cannot be accomplished. So it is not that only the sales department and the production department must have a good understanding or a synergy or a good bondage in terms of coordination. Each and every department in the organization must be well connected and must coordinate. Only then the objectives of the organization can be achieved. Can you able to understand, students? Right. Moving on to the next segment. Let's try to dig out the definition of coordination. One of the most important definition of coordination which was given by Henry Fayol. Please make a note of this is an important question that can also be asked in the board exam. So this question they'll ask as state the Henry Fayol's definition of coordination, or define coordination from the purview of Henry Fayol, or generally they can ask define coordination. At that situation you should not blink out whose definition you have to quote it. Always you take Henry Fayol's definition as a first priority. So coordination according to Henry Fayol is defined in such a way that coordination harmonizes, synchronizes and unifies individual efforts for better action and for the achievement of the business objectives. So here it is said very clearly that it is creating a harmony. So it is coordination, harmonies, synchronizes and it unifies. That is, it unites the individual efforts for a better action, and that will further lead to the achievements of the business objectives. Clear with the definition, students? Right. Moving on to the most important aspects or most important most important points of coordination. Coordination is considered to be a force that binds all other functions of management. That means only if there is a good coordination, the functions of management such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling can be exercised. So remember that coordination is a force that binds all the other functions of management. It is a common thread, which means it is a common thread that runs through all activities such as purchases, production, sales, finance and whatsoever. So whatever the department that is in existence in any organization, the coordination can run through all those departments in order to ensure the continuity working of the organization. If you just look at the thread, a thread will be in a continuous, right? It will not get disconnected. You could see the thread will be in a continuous, it won't get disconnected. In the same way, we say this coordination doesn't end up just within a department or with 2 or 3 departments. It needs to run through all the departments and also the activities of all the departments such as the purchase department, sales department, production department, accounting and finance department, marketing department, whatever the department the organization has got, it needs to run through. So this is the essence of coordination. It is considered to be as a common thread. They can ask you, coordination is a dash that runs through all activities. So you should not blink up. It's a common thread. Not thread, thread. Sometimes, I repeat, it is not always, sometimes coordination is considered as a separate function of management. So at times, sometimes we may consider coordination as a separate function of management. But nowhere it is proved or nowhere it is said that it is a separate function. Coordination is only a process that is bridging, that is connecting a bridge, or it's linking up all the activities of a department in the organization. We can't say this as a separate function. However, it is the essence of management. So as I said, it is most required in every organization, and as management is inevitable, if there is a management, then there must be a coordination in the organization. So it is the essence of a management. For achieving harmony and individual efforts towards accomplishment of goals. I repeat it, it is essential, that is, it is an essence of management. Only then the harmony and the individual efforts can be accomplished towards the group goals. Moving on to the next point is coordination is implicit and inherent in all functions of management. That means it is implicit, that is, it is hidden. We can only feel that. Okay, at the same time it is inherent, which is mandatory in all the functions of management. When I say functions of management, it includes those 5 functions which we saw in yesterday's session, right? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Let's see how this coordination is going to have its impact in the functions of management. Number 1, coordination process begins at the planning stage itself. So the first stage is planning stage. During that stage itself, this coordination process will start off. How? Planning will be done only by the top level managers, and the top level managers will be from various streams, and all the managers must have a coordination. Only then the plan can get implemented. So which the top management plans for the entire organization. So it is not that the plan which is proposed by the finance department has been taken off and they have implemented the sales manager's plan, or the sales manager's plan has been kicked off and they have implemented the plan of finance manager. So it will be discussed among all of them and then they draft a common plan for the entire organization as a whole. So in that way there is a coordination among the top management members at the time of planning. Next, it plays an important role at the time of organizing, in the organizing stage. So the organizational structure is developed as per the plans. So if you need to organize, there must be a good coordination. As I said yesterday, when a particular school wants to conduct an inter-school competition, in that case they need to organize. That means they have to ensure that all the things are well coordinated. You must have coordinators, and those coordinators must be in touch with those schools to ensure that they are making their presence on the day of competition for the venue at the right time and to the venue where it has been mentioned, and they take the necessary things. All those things they have to coordinate. At the same time, making the follow-up calls and keeping care of the safety, parking duties, whatever the duties that has been assigned. So grouping activities, assigning the duties, in everything there must be a good coordination. So all these are the functions of organizing. So in organizing stage also there must be coordination. Only then the assigned duties will get delivered properly. We can expect a good outcome from that result. From that particular task. The next one is staffing. The staffing function is performed after organizing stage as per the organization structure. So as you know yesterday, that staffing is nothing but recruiting the right man for the right job at the right place. So if you are selecting a person, that is, it is a process which involves recruitment, then selection, then placement, training and development. So in all these functions there must be a good coordination. The candidate who has got recruited and who have got selected must cooperate and coordinate with the management. Only then the coordination is considered to be as an essence of management, and staffing function will also get executed in an ease manner. The next one is directing. So directing is nothing but guiding or mentoring, or it is nothing but it is a way of giving counseling, or it is a leadership quality, or it is motivating. So it includes all these aspects, and the key aspect of directing is motivating and leadership, right? In this sense, coordination is very much required. You have to motivate the person, and that person must coordinate according to the motivations given by the leader, and then only the results can be accomplished. In the same way, if you are going to lead the team, then each and every member in the team must cooperate and coordinate with you. Only then the results can be accomplished. Without coordination, mere directing has got no use. So directing is very much essential. At the same time, coordination is also essential. Controlling. So controlling is nothing but taking the necessary corrective actions if anything gets deviated from the proposed plan. At the same time, it is measuring the actual performance, the standard performance. So even there must be a good coordination. So controlling function ensures that the deviation between actual and planned activities are taken care of. So you should coordinate with it. If suppose anything goes wrong, then obviously you need to coordinate with the respective department who has the authority to do the necessary corrections. Say for example, in a KPO, that is knowledge process outsourcing companies, where there can be a process which is being interlinked. There are many teams, and each team performs some activity, and each activity might be interconnected or interlinked with other department or with other teams. If anything goes wrong in your process, then you must know immediately what is the corrective action to be taken on, and where you need to contact, and how to do the control, or how to control those errors. So in that way, you need to coordinate either with your neighboring team or with the neighboring department, that is your next department, or to the next levels. You need to coordinate with the next levels too. So even in that aspect, as controlling function, also coordination plays a major role. Any doubts, students? Right. Moving on to the next last important segment, we need to conclude. So what we have found from this coordination, or what we understood from this coordination? In simple, coordination is nothing but it is an essence for every organization. Coordination is an essence of every organization. But we can't say that coordination or coordinating is a separate function of management. I repeat it, we could able to understand that coordination is an essence for every organization and for the management as a whole. But coordinating is not a separate function of management. That we are coming to a conclusion, because we found that only sometimes we find that it is a separate activity, but we can't say it's a separate activity or a separate function. It is not at all a function. Coordination is only supporting the functions of management, so it is not a separate function. For an organization to be effective and efficient in order to achieve its objectives, coordination is mandatory. So coordination is required at any point of time if the organization wants to achieve their or accomplish their objectives with accuracy, that is effectiveness and efficiency. Thus, coordination is just like a thread in a garland. We saw that coordination is a thread which runs through all the activities of department. The same way, we are concluding it in such a way that coordination is just like a thread in a garland that coordinates all functions of management. So all the functions of management are well connected, which means they are well coordinated, and we can say that coordination is a thread like a garland. There is a thread which is in a garland. Now I'll just show you two pictures here. One where a music director, that is a music director along with his orchestras, is performing some music. So here if you see, You can find the essence of coordination. You can also observe the functions of management. What are they? If he needs to perform a music show, the music director must first practice, first plan where he is going to perform. So before that he has to have mock trial. So planning should be done. And he must have a good organizing committee, that is the persons who will able to give up a good or deliver a good concerts, or who is well versed in doing the musics without any disturbances, those members to be in the first rows, and those who are in the beginning levels or beginners or they would say mediocre must be towards the last or in between. So he should arrange his members in such a way, so that's a grouping of members. So he need to organize it in such a way that the experts are in the front row, the beginners are in the last, and the mediocre in between those two, so that the musics which he is going to deliver is not getting any disturbance, it's not getting interrupted. Third, staffing. So he has collected, or he has a handful of orchestras. He is not having a number of orchestras, he's just limiting his orchestras, and he's positioned his orchestras in such a way that where they have to be. So if you look at it, all the orchestras are not being seated in the same row, they have been scattered, they have been given some positions, so that the music travels from all directions. So here staffing he has employed in his roles. At the same time, directing, yes, as a music director he is directing, or he's commanding, he's guiding his team members who has to play, or who has to play the notes accordingly, and he's just guiding them. So directing is also there. Controlling, he is having a stick in his hand in order to control if anything goes wrong. We can take in that aspect. So controlling aspect is also seen in this particular picture. So in this picture, if you look at it, it shows that a music director along with his orchestras is executing some music show with the functions of management. Whereas here, if you look at it, there is a problem in the tunnel, there is a problem in a railway track which has to get repaired. It needs to be repaired. But all the foremen are just discussing that who is going to repair it. And some are very lethargic, some are not connected with the meetings. If you see, there is some distance. Okay, so some are not interested to work on this project or on this work, so they are just getting themselves isolated. So this shows that there is a lack of coordination. If this work not get done, obviously the train can't go through this particular way. So there is a problem, the problem needs to be addressed, but everyone should come to work with great zeal, enthusiasm and with willingness. But here everything is getting messed up. So there is no willingness among the employees to work upon, there is no proper coordination, no proper support, and there is no interest among the members to work on it. So this shows that coordination if exists, things will go in a right way, and the result of the organization, or the end result will be always pakka, will be always fruitful. You can expect the results. Whereas if the coordination is not going to sustain, or is not going to exist, or there is no 100% coordination, obviously you can't expect the result out of it. So if you just look at it, there are some importance of coordination which has been given up. It is said like it is something important to build up the goodwill of the organization. It leads to the higher efficiency. It improves the organization. It helps to achieve the objectives with quality. It facilitates motivation. It gives proper direction. It also ensures a team spirit, and it make the optimum use of the resources. So all these are coordination's importance. So all this is possible only if you have proper coordination. So any doubt, students? Fine. I hope you all have understood the essence of coordination and its significance in the organization in related to the management functions. So thank you, students. I'll send you what you need to write in your classwork, and now next session we'll end up with the importance and the merits of coordination, by which our first chapter will come to an end. Thank you, students.